Welcome to Digital Asset News Clips, where we take the advancements in cryptocurrency and digital assets and bring it on to bite-sized pieces. So today, we're talking about a new project that was brought to my attention called EVERDOME. And for me to talk about EVERDOME, I have to talk about also TENSET, and I also have to talk about METAHERO. And it's what I call the Trinity. So we're going to take a look at how these are all intercombined and what this all means for EVERDOME. We're going to take a look at METAHERO and its UTT. We'll talk about that. We'll break down TENSET. We'll take a look at EVERDOME and why this is potentially a pretty big game and opportunity. And last, we'll talk about where to buy different tokens. So before we get started, this is just investment opinion, not investment advice. I will personally be investing into EVERDOME. I think it's a pretty good project. But again, my goals are not your goals. And it's up to you as an investor to do your own due diligence and your own research. Having said that, what I want to do real quick is break down these whole projects as simply as I possibly can. So what I call it is the Trinity, because when we take a look at EVERDOME and what EVERDOME actually is, it's going to be a hyper-realistic metaverse project. But that's just the base layer. What we really want to take a look at is how does this all fit into TENSET, which is another cryptocurrency project, and how does it fit into METAHERO? And METAHERO, if you haven't seen it lately, it is a project that allows you to, or those individuals to actually scan and make a hyper-realistic scan of, say, yourself, say of your pets, say of your shoes, say of all the Lambos that you own or whatever else it is, and they can put it into a metaverse game. And this is actually technology that's actually coming forth, and it's already available. They've already done this and set up shop in parts of Dubai. They've actually scanned a bunch of people. And what's crazy about this project is that when they scan the people, they actually paid them $1,000 in METAHERO token for them to be scanned, which is kind of crazy because if you think about it, in the other ways that were actually available, for them to scan you and put you into the metaverse, it actually costs you money. But METAHERO spun it on his head and said, no, we're going to pay you to scan you to put you in the metaverse. I know some people say, what about privacy and blah, blah, blah. Sure. I mean, look, if it's going to be a 3D character of me and then that is going in there, sure, sure enough. They're not going to take and scan my actual individual, my social security number and all those things. It's just me in this metaverse. So it is one of those things that they're doing. So when we take a look at this, what is this all about? Well, METAHERO, and that's just the first part. METAHERO is the actual token, and WDW, those are the technical side, or the people actually set up and actually do the scan, have partnered to bring the next 10 million new users to crypto. I like that. Gaming, fashion, medicine, NFTs, social media, VR, AR, and the metaverse are all destinations of scanned people and real-world objects. When I first saw this, I didn't understand it. I didn't really get it. I'm like, who cares if we're going to put in some hyper-realistic people? Can't we just do that someplace else? Well, you can, but what other places do is they charge you like $700, $800 to actually do all these scans and put you in there. And then what they do is they sell these to actual other businesses for like $3,000 or $4,000. So they actually double dip. And with METAHERO, what they're doing is like, no, we're going to scan you. We're going to pay you for that. And if we put you, if it goes someplace else, we'll sell it. But what we're really going to do is we're going to put it into our metaverse, and you're going to be a part of that. So scrolling down real quick, just to bring this to everybody's attention. Enter the metaverse. Wolf Digital World, WDW, those are the ones that actually build this actual scanner. That's just this huge dome where they scan everything in. And WDW itself is the technology arm of the project, provides all technical aspects. And then, of course, METAHERO is the crypto. Two separate companies, one life-changing mission. And then what it really comes down to is this. What I like to talk about for all these different deep dives is we know what the Trinity is. The Trinity, of course, is EVERDOME, TENSET, and METAHERO. What I want to talk to you about is just to see, is the UTT, which is the utility, the team, and the tokenomics. And if you can nail those as far as a new project, things are pretty smooth. So let's just take a look real quick at who this actual team is. And the team starts with this gentleman right here, Robert Grin. Hope I said his name right. Grind, sure. So Robert Grin, youngest self-made entrepreneur to make the Forbes 100 richest in Poland. Hey, great. Sounds pretty good. He's the former CEO of CodeWise, the second fastest growing company in Europe. Great. Is this important? Yes, and it's actually crucial, and this is why. This is CodeWise. CodeWise, again, Poland provides ad tech industry with talents, services, and insights. So what they do is people come to them and go, look, we need coders, we need digital marketers, we need all these different things, we need analytics people. We need those. Can you provide those? Yes, we've got some of the best and the brightest, and we'll help out your company. So what they did that for quite some time. And again, coders, analysts, digital marketers. So what this gentleman did is he sold it off, but he sold it, and then a lot of people, probably some of the top talent, came with him. And I will just tell you real quick, and I need to make this extremely clear. So I've been doing these deep dives with these different games and play to earn and things like that. And one of them, they said, Rob, we have no problems giving you the white paper, giving you full access and talking about all these things. We'll give you the CEO, the CFO, the CMO, white papers, everything you want, but we can't give you the specific developers. Just let you know that they're pretty good. I'm like, why? Why can't you do that? They said, because right now developers are a very hot commodity and they're being poached all along the way. And they're actually being offered hundreds of thousands of dollars just to jump ship into another project. I was like, well, okay, I guess that's what it is. So with this one, I think this is very important. Follow the developers. So when you see where people are going, first of all, they were at CodeWise, and it made a lot of sense. These things, they had some of the top talent. Now what they said is, you can stay here, that's fine, or you can kind of do some side action, or you can actually come along with us and create the next evolution of the metaverse. And we're going to see just how big those actually are. So when we scroll down here, you're going to see this term, ex-CodeWise. So there's Jeremy Lopez, 15 years, early stage tech. Here's Bally Singh. He is not ex-CodeWise, but the gentleman has experience with tech, with the music, entertainment, and sports world. Past collaborations with Microsoft, AMG, Sledgehammer Games. I don't know who they are. McLaren, EA Games, international artists, Sting, Jamiroquai, Pharrell Williams, 50 Cent, The Weeknd, and French Montana, amongst others. And then here's Alex. I'm going to guess this is his brother, ex-CodeWise, new tech and stuff like that. But here's where it gets interesting. If we scroll down here, actually scroll to the side, excuse me, you're going to see a bunch of ex-CodeWise, head of product, experience in ad tech. This is, I'm not going to try to pronounce this guy's name. Ex-CodeWise, full-time filmmaker. Again, the different people that are there. Ex-CodeWise, internet marketing, SEO, search engine optimization. Raphael Skalny, ex-CodeWise, developer and architect. Alexander, ex-CodeWise, Java-based tech. Ex-CodeWise, Java. Do you see where I'm going with this? So they have some of probably their top talents they took with them, and that gives them a huge leg up. And again, for businesses to thrive, it's not so much about having a great product. We've seen that. But what really gets a business to thrive is for you to be able to actually show that there's real world utility and actually can use, and marketing. And actually you have to have the legal part too. So people just think like places like Apple just kind of came out of nowhere and just because it had a great product. No, the reason why Apple did so good was because Steve Jobs was an SOB as far as like business, and he was shrewd and he was sharp. And on top, and then you can even hear like Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. He said that Steve Jobs was one of the toughest businessmen he ever met in his entire life. And he was also fantastic at marketing. So it was one of those crucial parts as to why that business grew. And why I think this business has grown so rapidly. So to jump back real quick, get off my horse about that. So Wolf Studios, these are the two gentlemen that do all, the tech and the scanning and things like that. And these two guys right here are also important. Who are these guys? Well, these guys right here, this is Jonas Miara and Michael Healy. So Jonas, blockchain entrepreneur, crypto investor since 2014 with 10 years experience in business and leadership, and he is a part of TENSET. Also, Michael Healy, this is a good story. Michael is a crypto veteran, partner at Unit Ventures. He's built numerous successful startups and apps, including the WikiLeaks Android app, which got him into crypto when his bank accounts were frozen by the US government. I think we can all appreciate that. So that's where some of those connections actually are with the Trinity. Now, if we take a look at METAHERO, because first of all, METAHERO hasn't been around for quite some time. It's actually very, very new. And if we take a look at it, this is not the private sale price. This is when it was actually launched. When it was launched in around July 7th or so, you're looking at a price of 0.008. So not even a penny. Not even a penny when it first came out. And then just through great marketing and a great product, real world utility, and people doing all the scans, this is where it went up to. Its all-time high was 24 cents. Pretty good. Now, it dropped down just like everything has. Remember, it is December 20th, 2021. So we've seen a little bit of a decline across the board through cryptocurrency. But imagine that. It comes out at 0.008, less than a penny, and you go up to 24 cents. About 30x. Not too bad. And then off down you go. And then also take it a little bit further, because remember, UTT, utility tokenomics, or team in tokenomics. So let's take a look at tokenomics real quick. So marketing, 10%, private sale, 10%, public pre-sale, liquidity pool, 20%, company reserves, 10, teams advisors, 20. And then also lockup periods, which is actually down here, which you can see right there. So the things you want to make to be acutely aware of, if you're not familiar with tokenomics, I harp on these because I've seen projects where it's 70% for the teams and advisors, which means they get 70% of all the tokens out there, and they buy them all up, and they let people, buy up in the public sale, even a little bit of a pre-sale, and they dump on them like crazy. And if you have lockup periods and you have it distributed pretty well, like we see right here with token distribution, it's a pretty good project. And that's why people got into it. Also, if you want to take it even a step further, the token METAHERO, or the METAHERO token, was created on Binance Smart Chain. And if you want to take a look at all the different holders, you can take a look at, this is bscscan.com. There's also one called EtherScan. And you can do this for every single cryptocurrency that's out there that's built either on Ethereum or on Binance Chain. And you can just take a look at the holders. You click on holders itself, and you can see a list of all the top holders by percentage. And if you see something like this, it's a smart contract. So this could be at an exchange. This could be some other thing that they have, but there's a 34% in there, probably one of those different tokenomics that we talked about, but you got 5%, 4%. So it's not like you have a bunch of different, and there's thousands of different ones that they have. It's not like it's all locked up into one, and which is pretty good for a crypto that has come out in July and only 5 months ago. Okay, so that takes care of METAHERO and its UTT. Let's talk about TENSET and its UTT. So first of all, what the heck is TENSET? So TENSET is another blockchain or cryptocurrency digital asset that has come along recently. And if we can take a look at this, I'm not gonna, it's about a 3-minute video. I'm gonna break this down to 1 minute. Just watch this 1 minute. This is gonna explain to you what TENSET is.
At TENSET, we build bridges between cryptocurrencies and the world of traditional finance, speeding the transition to the new decentralized world. TENSET launched a second-generation ETF token. TENSET token is deflationary, offers smart staking and various mechanisms, ensuring its stable growth over time. Each transaction in the network subtracts 2% fees. Half of the fees are burned, which creates deflation and scarcity, while the other half gets distributed to everyone in the network as smart staking. There's no need to freeze your tokens or keeping them in any special wallets. Staking works for everyone, always. TENSET token is backed by carefully selected cryptocurrencies that generate profits from staking, yield farming, loans, and other decentralized mechanisms. 30% of the company profits are actively spent on buying back TENSETs from exchanges. These tokens are also burned, which creates even more deflation and boosts the token price.
So great. I hope that made sense as far as what TENSET is, but it goes beyond that. So TENSET is also going to be a launch pad for a couple of different projects. And if we go over here to tenset.io/gems, there's a link in the description. This is the gem launch platform. And before I get into the time frame, which is very limited, that's why this is going out right now, I just want to show you the current launches, EVERDOME. That is the one that we're talking about today. But more importantly, what was the other ones they did? Well, they did this one called Kanga, Kanga exchange. And if we take a look at Kanga exchange itself, this is the Kanga exchange, and they have a bunch of different cryptos that you can swap out and trade and on-ramp and things like that. Not sure if it's there for Americans. I'll link in the description. You can check it out. But what's notable here is that how it actually did upon launch. So upon launch, not the private sale price, but when it launched around $7, $6.96, and it went up to $10. So not too bad. And then it came back down a little bit, but it's still above where it was before. So again, if we take a look at the actual program, that was one of the launches. Then also they launched this one, METAHERO, the one that we were talking about before. And that did, I think, pretty well in how things are going. And now, no future launch, now they're launching EVERDOME. So how does this all going to work? So when we come over here and it says to subscribe, we can do, there's a couple different ways for the actual launch for EVERDOME. So there's this thing called the TENSET Gem Launch Platform, and you can lock up your TENSET tokens and it'll give you a certain amount. So I actually did this yesterday, so it looks a little bit, the time frame's a little bit off, but it's asking if you want to lock 3,000 TENSETs for TGLP, you will be a part or could be a part of this initial private sale. So, and before I go on, as far as like private sales and different things like that, the big question was going to be, well, can Americans or can my country actually subscribe and actually get into this? For this one, I will put a link for the white paper as far as like who can get involved. But you have to remember that this actual token is more utility than I would say a lot of other different projects, because it's the dome. It's going to be used for a lot of things we'll go over in a second. But it's not for me to say that you can or cannot. I will leave that up for the links that you can find and go from there. Now, for me, I can only tell you, I'm not an investment advisor, but I can only tell you what I am going to do as far as like a METAHERO holder. So that's all I can really say about that, because I am not a lawyer. So consult your financial advisor and your lawyer to get involved in this project. So to jump back real quick, that is the first way you can get involved. You can lock up TENSET tokens. And again, if we're taking a look at TENSET, you can also take a look at Conga, and we'll take a look at where to purchase it as well. So that takes care of TENSET and what it is and kind of how it's all wrapped together. Now, let's get into the actual project we're here for, EVERDOME. So EVERDOME, this is what it looks like. Hyper-realistic metaverse project. Looks pretty cool, right? Something about landing in Mars, domes, gamification. Great. I'm not a big gamer, but I can see the appeal here, especially with what it is. But really what I want to note is the people behind this and how they're actually promoting it and the people that are built in. If you watched our other video where we talked about Genso Kishi, it's a game that is coming over from PS4, Nintendo Switch, iOS, Android, which already has built-in players on Web 2.0. They're bringing it over to Web 3.0 and a metaverse. This is kind of like the same way, kind of. They have a lot of built-in people. And who are those people? Those people that are built in are from METAHERO. And METAHERO, all the people that have actually bought in, they're going to be able to get onto this private sale. So real quick, this is from Rob Grin. And what does he say about the EVERDOME? So he says EVERDOME is the most ambitious metaverse project that's based on Mars. Imagine massive settlements, cities, and great stuff. Great. He says, we've hired top game developers plus artists, and our team continues to grow with top talent. Again, follow the developers. We're launching in Q1, it's pretty fast, and are currently in talks with various investors, partners, and we're taking this beyond what anyone thought was possible. Most still don't understand that we'll have the most valuable 3 databases in the world in 2022 with METAHERO. Stage 1 of our pre-sale is pretty much done. It's closed, but stage 2 is open, which is what we just talked about. We're going to talk about one more way. You can also take part TENSET.io, which is the one we just talked about, TENSET.io, and then back to building. New website coming soon. So again, if we're talking about things that are already built in, well, you already have a pretty big, actually, let me go back. You already have a pretty big following here with EVERDOME. They just joined in November, and they already have almost 100,000 followers. That's 82,000 followers on Twitter. It's pretty good for 2 weeks. And then if you take a look here, and that was at the end of November. Then you take a look here at METAHERO. They just joined in June. And they already have almost 200,000 followers. And why? Because they want to know what's going on with the project. Probably because they bought into the project. And they're like, wow, well, METAHERO did really well for me. And I trust Rob Grin. I see where he's going. I might get into this other one. And again, I think this is where the project really starts to build steam, because there's a lot of synergy between a lot of these projects. So I think this is a pretty good play. But the question then is we've got all these things going on is, first of all, how does this all work with the whitelist and all those things? So just so you know, I'll just read it here. It's a lot easier. So here's the rules. And this is for MetaHero participants. But don't worry, if you don't have any MetaHero, still get in. So rules: any addresses that sells or transfers out hero is automatically and permanently removed from the whitelist that's in between these times frames. You can't use a centralized exchange wallet if you have MetaHero. It has to be, usually what I use is MetaMask. And any addresses after December 10th are only eligible for the 50,000 plus Hero 1 slot. And we can watch this video, but I'll break it down like this. So early heroes are people who can get into EVERDOME, or people who own the hero token. From November 26th to December 10th, that's already passed. If you had 10,000 plus hero tokens, you would get 1 slot to actually buy in the pre-sale of EVERDOME. If you had over 100,000 hero tokens, you got 10 slots. And if you had over 1 million hero, I don't know who's the baller that does that, but you got 100 slots and you can buy a boatload of EVERDOME, okay? That's already gone. What we have now is December 10th to January 2022, January 10th. You can still get that 1 slot if you have 50,000 hero. Again, how much is hero? Well, it's around 15 cents. So 50,000, yeah, about 9K or something like that. Check my math. I'm not really good at math, but somewhere around there, right? And then that could get you in. So again, there's 2 ways to do it. Either have a bunch of hero, you can get in the pre-sale, or you can go back to what we talked about as far as going on to the TENSET gems, hitting subscribe, going in there, locking up your TENSET tokens, staking, all those things, and you can get allocated for the pre-sale and get available for that, for the token. So that takes care of just that small piece. Now, again, if we're talking about the UTT, we took a look at, as far as EVERDOME, we took a look at the team. Let's take a look at the utility and the tokenomics, because that's kind of important about what we're going for. So real quick, here we have the EVERDOME light paper. I'm going to skip over a lot of this because we already talked about it. Here's the things you want to know. Gaming market. Globally, there's about 2.7 billion gamers out there. In 2020, they spent around 159 billion in games and 200 billion by 2023. We've already covered these things before, especially in that Genzo Kishi video. I'll link it at the end. So here is the play. The HQ Dome. This is the part of the game. Our massive dome will be situated on Mars, where artists, musicians, companies, brands, and people can come buy their own space, purchase land, or buy up shop fronts for advertising. In EVERDOME, everything is hyper-realistic, hence the technology from those guys over at MetaHero, Wolf Technologies, where they actually do all the scanning. Hyper-realistic, doesn't cost them too much as far as like getting the hyper-realistic scans into the actual game, because they already have that technology and they already have the developers. Then I'm scrolling down, Dome Estate Offering. So here's where it comes down to the utility of the actual token. So the token for EVERDOME, land sales. You can purchase the land in EVERDOME. I like that, to increase your metaverse holdings of NFTs. Property sales and rents. If you're not a developer, I am not, perhaps you'd like to get in on a project and purchase property or even rent. With EVERDOME, you'll be able to expand your real estate portfolio very similarly to the real world. And this is what I talked about before. I am a somewhat big investor, a big-ish investor into real estate. Me and my wife, we like to get houses and units for short-term rentals via Verbo and Airbnb. So I always see this as a pretty good play in the real world and also in the virtual world, because I think there could be a lot of things going on there as far as like advertising, putting in your marketplace, people going in there, buying things. And we've talked about this before as far as the metaverse. So that is the utility part. This is what the EVERDOME will get you, and you have to use EVERDOME for that. Now let's take a look at the token distribution. Again, it's pretty much the same way that we saw with MetaHero. The only difference is that with MetaHero, the token supply was 10 billion. With EVERDOME, it's 100 billion tokens. So if we can think about different products that have a pretty high total supply, the one that comes to mind, I think, would be probably Cardano right now, 45 billion. And then we see like Decentraland, I want to say 2 or 3 billion. Sandbox, somewhere around there, 1.8 billion. But 100 billion, as far as like tokens, is a little bit higher as opposed to like MetaHero. But if it is what it is, and it does kind of come out, and it does work out pretty well, I think it could still do quite well depending on where I'm going to get in as far as this sale. So total supply, 100 billion. But here's the breakdown. 10% is on the team. And then you get, there's a lockup, 10% after each month. Exchange listing, 20%. 10% unlocked after each month after. So every month it gets unlocked, so they can't just dump on you immediately. Strategic partners, 12%. Staking, 20%. Company reserves, 15%. Marketing, 3%. Private round, 5%. Hero exclusive presale, one we just talked about, 10%. And then the TGLP, the one we talked about with TENSET, where you can lock up your TENSET tokens. And here's the big thing. The token price is a fraction of a penny. So if you can get into one of these, depending on which country you're in, it might be a good opportunity. Again, this is not investment advice. This is just investment opinion. I just talk about the things that could potentially be big in crypto and digital assets. And I think this could be a very big play, especially with the people that are involved. And lastly, we'll talk about where to buy these different tokens. So for that, all you have to do, if you're looking at where to buy TENSET or where to buy Hero, I always just use CoinGecko, very easy. And then I just go to TENSET, and when I scroll down for TENSET markets, and you can see all the trading pairs, and you can find all the different exchanges, DEXs that they actually have. So for TENSET, you can use Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Gate.io, and that's pretty much it. And then for METAHERO, again, I'll scroll down, see all the trading pairs, a little bit more. PancakeSwap, Gate.io, KuCoin, Bitmart, BKX, PancakeSwap, and so on and so forth. So that essentially is it for today. So look, I know a little bit longer, but I think it's a great project. These deep dives do take a little bit longer. That's why I put them on Digital Asset News Clips, which I probably should rename to Digital Asset News Advancements, but that's what we have. So look, if you like today's video, found a little bit of value, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. Also consider subscribing. A lot of things we talk about on this channel are more of the advancements and long-term plays in investment. If you're just looking for digital asset news, links in the description, but that's it. So thanks so much for sticking with me. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.